And I am confident that in the very near future, our women will break the glass ceiling and there will be a woman President of the Republic of Ghana.
Ghana is clear about the road ahead. We must move beyond exporting raw beans to building a cocoa economy that empowers our farmers, creates jobs, develops industry, and upholds sustainability.
President John Mahama say anu de papa no bebe wa kodru bia no he the oh Mama he the oh papa naba odia sampa nabo John Mahama ko pemu China just like they see or Singapore and Japan just like they see or United States of America na oduane agopon Ghana for ni China for mu friend say China omodie Mahama feel so rough o be hwe the way o mani adi no mo koba me see ye crash na ya adwuma no say Mahama dey me say the whole world who president the world sundwe pa ono peace of mind on fanya because odu Ghana ye boje no so ogodu odu say ye boje no so face is one like ye uru no na ke di natam na e fero danfunu me say wi ase one guy say o se sa amanfo ense sa musu ban pa ni wati John Dramani Mahama say the ONG the bebedu bia no the hero of the town this say no ogopie mo China na China na ogopie mo ana urade nyankopon Yes, I'm Ketwa. I was China, not John Dramani Mahama. Ekasano, Southern and Vice, the second in command for Ghana. The Vice President Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai. Now, my men also no, no, so fire abrafo, but I'm saying with you, like they like follower like boss. Eti John Dramani Mahama ko piem with China. Now, China no ko piem no, ne yere Mrs. Lordina Mahama. And go pay muna na China for a program be amutaye pa. Now why na John Dramani Mahama catch China President Jinping say our vim our hope say one day Ghana ebenya a female president. On say enter kra possible e dey besi. Now we no global leaders meeting on women in Beijing. Nti then some ye can about gender equality and gender equity. In the crime bears on the Bevaswama and Ma as well equal opportunity, equal right to serve their countries, to serve their continent, and then to serve the whole world at large. I don't know John Dramani Mahama, Nensama Okano, Oka Chinese government and say we pay more Ghana more the rough. Or say na nu yai watch free part at the ama a senior high school. And man say omunfa more because sanitation there a day here no for insist or more kama over 6.6 million sanitary partners so far schools Ghana Education Service actually edemo school nkwala nti emu ede o say nya nko a o say another policy be ente obe rolling out enso ye women development banker oba be ene women in agriculture o cha say man vim say mo betima ye nti de mu hia ne say women support so the government of Ghana no John Mahama odi omanim kan why not why they say obebu mo ni na no I successful nti for that reason ti ene Ghana for Emma efili say omo the same opportunity as Emma no ono de o say Emma na niku omo ho papa me say ne de omwa John Mahama ne ma de papa ne pe ma sem rough you na okoka o say mumma man no kwan mumma man opportunity say in China or can the same message say mumma man kwan na mo say na osoro yimamu evertable.
My country, Ghana, remains steadfast in its pursuit of gender equality and the empowerment of our women. Under my leadership and in my capacity as the African Union champion for gender and women's empowerment, the government of Ghana has continued to take decisive steps to mainstream gender across our national development policies. We've achieved historic milestones, including the election of Ghana's first female vice president and the unprecedented appointment of women to leadership positions in government, the judiciary, the security services, and key national institutions. These are not just symbolic gestures, they are deliberate affirmation that women deserve a seat at the table of the highest levels of decision-making. And I am confident that in the very near future, our women will break the glass ceiling and there will be a woman president of the Republic of Ghana.
But so far, John Mahama as a president, the vice, the first female vice president in Ghana, in the history of Ghana, or say advocate is a president. I hope say about competency, and because of your bar. And then Ugo Pimo, friends, Bank of Ghana, deputy governor, Ayoba, John Mahama. On one insano, the ministers Ibebre, ma John Mahama on one insano. Inti Madi John Mahama says so more support. And yenne a check papa. The moment I hope and pray, say equality now I see a pen because I've never seen say we are equality or what I be soon you what that. Zongo grown out almost say here for net to it was catching you. Ubusika Zongo, HOB Trasaco, so we need my catch now. Yen na go class bani nya ni ade pe enye na na pass pe enye na na skirt mi di free fie e be to aduane di o school mu na e pe yen na be wie ugo head the same aduma na obekọ no ebi di akatwache ebi yen na ye nya pe the same football club obekọ no obi di sikache ebi enya pe we are see equality there mi ni be equality na wo emi ma we are see da na nya ni say ye to abama ni ba ko so be president ono almost every privileges, but after that privilege now no one asa privileges here woni na hi ono ko asa ya ka this is sori na pa tututu e sha say ye aduma ansa na boso so ya ensa akoya no by the president oda e dey obi didi ye na ye hwe no na privilege e pe e yi ko no e the same Ghana net here ye na ye Ghana for oh here you think the same thing as akwa ye timi ye pe so that but John Mahama say we ready say obefache am the right of women awo ni administration muntino o ka che China ban Jinping say China for mo de obepe mo China ha okra de mu hold ma high esteem most of them industrial factory work ni na no mo ma kwa na ma na ye ndi the way amudi ni die any body am man ne Chinese women are one of the highly respected, I friend say a labor union we are why not? Ghana so edi kwan so ye pese ye sanyen baby enu so why ne aja what the right place. Say China for ye bi nkwan dia why not? Ghana esubeti mayibi na oye na the foreign affairs minister Samuel Okujato Ablakwa esu ebetule to ne ex no so say President Mahama and the First Lady Lordina Mahama arrived in China as the honor a special invitation for the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Now, says so far, John Dramani in the last 9 months, he was visited Singapore, was visited Japan, I visited China. 3 of the fastest developed countries are so far what the Asian continent is so. What calling you now could see now wait, the foreign affairs minister. Someone could have told Black was at 2 said, expect Ghana-China relation to grow in leaps and bounds, considering the scheduled new significant agreement and high-level engagement lined up in the coming days. And they say, apart from say you can't find man seminar, John Dramani Mahama eba or say the more businesses eba as we commemorate 65 years of former Ghana-China bilateral relations and 30 years of the Beijing Gender Summit. That is a Ghana and China. 65 years ni any no much as Kenya bilateral friends relations you know. Yeah, it was one is and 30 years of the Beijing Gender Summit. Now we are confident in the future of shared prosperity, a world without discrimination, and an unstoppable global south. Ghana, China United Collective Transformation. And according to Samuel Okujato Blackwater, as they move there, the way you know relationship for 65 years, ya wo ho abesin there no. Africa na President John Mahama ko ko chimu kana. Enti dize no, what is the John Mahama abedu Ghana peka imo ede. For both, I say 9:30, I don't know, 7 or hot. On Sabeka, the way no say Africa must now be an active at the way a foreign affairs minister. Samuel Okujato Black and Simokan, at the far John Dramani Mahama on a visit to China. Now, at the same time, so no, now your vice president also have fire gidi, also have pay investors or pay entrepreneurs, as well to Ghana. And may investment also the Mahama kind be a paper. Or say a partnership a 50-50. And your 50-50 for Kukunu Kaka, for Kubi Bitanamen carry home and ma. The way I say Africa must now be an active participant in shaping global dialogue and outcomes. I stress the need for diversification of partnership so that no single bloc dominates, and for Africa to invest in research, innovation and value addition along with her natural resources. I say Africa timitna a friend is saying a global seat no so. They bet the matter should be a say a part of DC makers no. Say John Mahama go say UN for a US for a UN for the same thing. Now at this time around, no single block any say and Europe for the can and America for can Asia for can Asia for can yaka US for can yaka Europe can yaka and I just say na you didn't come as partners. Na ba ku mienu fo go kan mo de na mamba so be so na ye African na ye nya dia tu mo se de bi etu ntwa, and at the same time as Africa so ye invest na ye pesa adodo de bia na ye kosele esu ye ba ye timi ye na ye busu e receive o se invest or research, ye invest our innovation, ye add value to your natural resources. Or say how your natural resources now for cocoa no was one a pan raw no dia ko na bro ni fita ma che ya fitiri bongwan ko chocolate no dia brew cocoa no got on fala chocolate no beto am on body ne was why ade na Africa ye guzo ye ho sa ye guta natural resources na so ye timi add a single value ye timi fa value bi anka na say we ye twaso ni ye we a emfa so ben pa ni benya
in many African countries and in languages, and it refers to a scene where 2 elephants fight and the grass suffers. I believe it's not very common. But you know, this scene presupposes that the 2 elephants will keep fighting and that the grass will keep suffering. It also creates an image of power and powerlessness. But recent shifts are telling us a different story, or at least are proposing that the story could be different. And this is where cooperation comes in, where the respect is important regardless, where interests can be matched, and where benefits can be truly beneficial. So definitely, if there are shifting powers, it just presupposes that those who have been at the receiving end of unfairness, of stalling development, and so on, may begin to realize that when there's so much shift, when there's so much conflict between the powers, perhaps we will have, that is, if I describe the vulnerable as a grass, maybe this is a time to look at other options. This is the time to create other ways of dealing with the problem. So it calls for a redefinition of the problem and a re-strategizing of options. In other ways, you can look at how you have been developing, in quotes, and how you can develop. Why have you been at the receiving end for so long? And what is it that should change? And this is why I think that partnerships become very important. Redefining the partnerships, recognizing that we may not necessarily come to the same table with the same item, but the items that we are bringing are of value. And that without the item that others are bringing, the end results may not be useful. And indeed, that the larger issue of creating peace might not be achieved. So I want us to keep the end results of peace in the world as paramount.
It is a percent for software and child. Let's add value. Yeah, for being count. Now, say, Abrafone, dear, mom say, yeah, refining it to a certain degree. A man for swap baby. Aba Africa is your bottom. And no program your job, Boro. We are not say, at first, Ghana cannot continue exporting raw materials only to import the finished product at higher cost. This cycle undermines both sovereignty and prosperity. Naminsha, Vice President.
Let me begin by thanking the conveners of this important discussion. Our story, that is the story of Ghana, begins with a Ghanaian blacksmith called Tete Kwashe, who is widely credited with planting Ghana's first cocoa beans in the late 19th century. What began as an act of scientific curiosity seeded a national transformation. Today, over 800,000 smallholder farmers depend on cocoa for their livelihoods. Our shared challenge now is to move beyond trade based on commodity dependence towards a partnership built on value addition, sustainability, and fairness. For Ghana, and maybe other producing countries too, processing more of our beans at home is both a legitimate aspiration and a strategic imperative. This is in recognition of the fact that true economic weight lies higher up the value chain. Local processing creates jobs, strengthens industrial capacity, enhances negotiating power, and above all, is a matter of sovereignty and strategic agency. Ghana has laid the groundwork for this shift. Incentives under free zones and investment promotion frameworks have expanded installed cocoa capacity to roughly 500,000 tons today, and plans for increased volumes supported by modern logistics, reliable energy, and an enabling business environment. The greatest returns in finance, employment, and skills will come when we move into finished products, including chocolate and other products. Trade barriers also pose another challenge. While tariffs on raw beans are often zero, duties rise significantly on cocoa powder and chocolate products, limiting our ability to export processed goods. Addressing these tariff escalations is critical for fair trade. Distinguished colleagues, cocoa is part of Ghana's broader transformation. Our Big Push initiative is building infrastructure for agro-industrialization, while the Connect 24 pillar of our 24-hour economy ensures that there is seamless flow of goods, energy, and data. Ghana is clear about the road ahead. We must move beyond exporting raw beans to building a cocoa economy that empowers our farmers, creates jobs, develops industry, and upholds sustainability. The EU Sustainable Cocoa Initiative can be a partner in this journey by supporting investments in processing, unlocking financing for cooperatives and small and medium-scale enterprises, and ensuring that sustainability standards are inclusive and not punitive. Colleagues, I invite all of us to work together to build a cocoa sector that not only provides effective cosmetics, healthy food products, that not only sweetens the world's palate, but also enriches the lives of the farmers and community who make this possible. Thank you very much.
I hope that any political talk, we know President John Mahama, our president, your president, mobile for Philly, mobile man possible. Go no, moment say, yeah, refine be, yeah, then be answering as you are tom. Gold no, moment say refine be. Crude oil, moment refine be. They are tons ya bread aden. And the vice president said they be Ghana yen twin twas yes, I Ghana say. Ya no man ye mumano, and a great ya say bisca. Because what the road meko no got on aboard in the Nyansa Benum. Was it true partnership are retreated must involve a co-decision making, agency and mutual accountability. Ghana is open to collaboration, but it must be partnership. Ghana is open to collaboration, but it must be partnership grounded in respect, fairness, and shared progress. Or say Ghana are you ready? Say only a man for every partner. Or make collaborate, but time and your partnership member. Why do you say Obeka? You be any idea? Yeah, trim. Some brand trim that yeah. Indeed, the president, the boss, John Mahama sell the same message. Also, sell the same message. The minister, where a uniform decision, or declared yet that answer no more about Monty and Moka and Coupon in Seromo. On your Moka said that we are the Muke and Panyampa. Among Casa politicians, but make us leaders, no my man. And or say you go partnership no one for Bua my time I am. Then you know partner. Say, and ya pepe, eh, another say, I didn't ask Ochiano, who's here, you go cause men cause, and also Yantiasia, Yampene. Orion was as your friend is saying, and say, idea, boy, yen yen count or 7 1 we US at time for resources in nation and fire here, who be uncoping the baby in Tana. It simple and tetia. This moment presents a chance for the global community, particularly Africa, to redefine the rules of engagement and ensure that development and peace are not privileged but shared global responsibilities. And you say, Nano Elto was asking the culture, Abrafuna no Titin say Chairman. Africa, you ready? Say, you boy home. Samoba, Monya Mabin say, Mosome Boamo. Nobody better not in your Goma. A partnership, a 50-50. You are involved, we are involved, we are all making something out of nothing. At the end of the day, say, in Filmuma, Mompum baby internal. We know to say cocoa is central to Ghana's broader economic transformation. It is aligned with our big push initiative for agro-industrialization and the Connect 24, pillar of the 24-hour economy. That is a cocoa, no, a part of Ghana and Yema Bakwe this cabre pa. Now way I can the big push sika if ever big push money na cocoa sika I can be. And the way idea the agro industrialization that is a bakwe agriculture more on beso omoyema a big hub kakraka kasema mama call Singapore onya a businessman and investor out the $100 million ever be AI agric friends hub. The way you have a great kakraka and go on getting started a home near baby in agriculture sector. And the way I connect 24 minutes and all the business and regional now a part or a pillar of the 24-hour economy, which is designed to enhance the flow of goods, energy, and data Our living income differential, introduced jointly with La Côte d'Ivoire, reflects our commitment to ensuring farmers earn a fair return for their labor. This is a Kuyafo na anu ye cocoa for nya Kuyafo cocoa for you didn't see kakra ka you say why there omoni Côte d'Ivoire for atnasi adwin komonti say no cocoa ne dey sika na ba they say here na sefata say cocoa farmers in Zakano and also Monsabeka. In closing, I stated that Ghana path forward is clear. We must move beyond exporting raw cocoa beans to building an economy that empowers farmers, create decent jobs, and promotes sustainability. Together, we can build a cocoa sector that not only sweetens the world's palate, but enriches the lives of the farmers and communities who make it possible. I believe that the way Asama Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai, the vice president of the land, Abra Okoshia, a whole lot of businessmen, investors, this friends, head of states in here, I know Mudin Koma or catch up and say, Emra son say cocoa, you just say send cocoa seed. Yeah, they are called Ghana is the second friends, largest cocoa export in the world. Nan one Budin Kwa. Or see Emra son say you just say you go count for the not say, yeah, they are done statistics, numbers, and go on, you go count. Emra so say be cocoa no, you dey free up material state in mu. They do a certain redefined friends the process be a yeah ton cocoa na faso beba emu be de ebe ye kama ama farmers no I encourage I motivated so because why cocoa farming say there be a communities now cocoa farming wo no must be enjoy better rules may enjoy all the social amenities so enjoy same rason time ni kinako the time is now the CEO of Jospon group of companies Azum Lion Papa na say John Mahama na say I cancel the contract no or say I cancel and cancel you. I believe in President Mahama vision as a businessman this is the best time to strike. Or say John Mahama here Papa no experience brutal na the experience now one so John Dramani Mahama as a member of parliament, a minister, a vice president, and a president. Obianu is so prepared. John Dramani Mahama. And if or no, John Dramani Mahama is ready. Bet me you so Ghana etumpong. Or say because one say this time around for living legacy. And legacy, how do you live legacy? By making sure say the older someone die, the wife experience will be Utimi na ye kama. And John Dramani Mahama or no Jospon group of companies Dr. Joseph Siao Ajimai or no NSCU Papa ne say Odijo Mahama di rough Ojini di rough say Papa no Ghana allows open obey money na eliamaye.
The reason why I am saying I believe in President John Mahama vision is this. President Mahama has been a minister before. He has been a vice president before. He has been a president before. And he has come back a president again. He will never come back again as a president. So his 4 years is somebody who is leaving a legacy. So such a person is something to leave a remarkable thing to call that during his time, this and this is what is happening. So he is the man now doing things that when you associate your ideas with him, it resonates. And by my calculation, as a businessman, this is the best time to strike. In business, you look at the best time to strike. And this is the best time.
Eti John Dramani Mahama, the women empowerment agenda, or that's what I was correct pa our China now. According to the foreign affairs minister, someone who could have black watch say, what is a Mahama bedroom Ghana pekai? Say investors so Ghana because John Dramani Mahama China for almost strengthening the 65 years bilateral relation between Ghana and China kai. Unima me catch that say about 22 countries are Ghana. Yedi omukano. Ye didn't kaka pa China. Currently ye trade no. Akabe say 1.9 billion. And that's what that. car Ghana did so far about say $5 billion US. China and Guan the idea about 1.9 billion. The almost almost half of the car idea that. But John Dramani Mahama, according to the foreign affairs minister, someone could talk like what I said. Obebano, when the Nebusia one course of Jibusia, Yemen Oko, so Oko, your plans 24-hour economy. How are businessmen, any industries, any factories, every people Ghana have, or make many profits. Our business so, and at the same time, Ghana so are benefiting from it. Yantia say after all the talk, John Mahama ba sikasu aba Ghana. The vice president, Jenana Opoku Ajimai, as we say on the other hand, or can't any investor be say oh ba Ghana na oba nko dia kai say 50-50 a partnership ultimate for your good year fanko na international common ye na o wi say all my royalties for what ye the head o si cocoa no so emra so say export cocoa not in the raw form na ya yes ye nya kapre influso gold I the coral cocoa I the coral bibi I the coral ya coral sa ti adwini na no e boro sa ti de bia ya adwini raw o si emra so say sesa emra so say e che ne rubber we the tear rubber partnership and your ultra the value account scanning zuwa account na Ghana prosperity for so die eso ba yeso na yeso ye me nipa ebede den wi ase eye agudie nko ade a ese enya so mfa so enti ese no Ghana e ready say ye koko e be export a ye de kakra be kan a emu aye de say ana John Dramani Mahama on the vice Jena na opoku agima e be ya ma ye dia a Ghana be fili brutal enema say John Dramani Mahama ko pay mo China no Ghana for e China and even Chinese for ni bi e pay be share no na just o man fans sa fans nko ana John Dramani Mahama John is the hope John Abam Papa ba John Kwame Nkrumah hey no mama fili Mama president dia me the rough they say I'm sure say presidential ambition fanto na chama e ba mso me yagmo kasaid ye tuate when a naked truth our old burger trends for comment to comment section na say John Mahama and some all culture China for about women empowerment in any so far there why any say yes all about the businessmen investors urban the Jenana Opoku Ajima the vice president so say Ghana mraso say e export cocoa no ne raw form bio e say Ghana timinya fa so free agudie ho ye natural resource no any person who is also coming a partnership then ana oka fam fatu comment section na say we are subscribe like na share edino e ba kope maxi billion our naked truth on old burger dress makram bye bye.